Money is an idea. It is one of the most powerful and transformative ideas humanity has ever conceived. We often think of it as coins in our pocket or numbers on a screen, but its true essence is far deeper. It is a shared story, a collective agreement that allows societies to function with a level of complexity that would otherwise be impossible. To understand our modern world, from the corner store to the global stock market, we must first understand this fundamental tool. We study money not just to learn about economics, but to learn about ourselves, our history, our trust in one another, and the systems we build to facilitate our lives. This story is a journey, a short history of how we moved from simple trades to a global digital network. Before money existed, there was barter. This was the most direct form of commerce imaginable. If you were a farmer with a surplus of grain and you needed a new pair of shoes, you had to find a shoemaker who happened to be in want of grain. This system, known as the double coincidence of wants, is incredibly restrictive and inefficient. It works on a small scale, within a tight-knit community where needs are few and well-known. But as societies grew, this limitation became a significant barrier to progress. Imagine trading a large, indivisible item like a cow for smaller goods like bread, salt, and tools. The system was clumsy and slow, and often unfair. To overcome the inherent weaknesses of direct trade, humanity stumbled upon a solution: commodity money. Cowrie shells, blocks of salt, bushels of grain. These items were a major leap forward because everyone in the community agreed they were valuable. They served as a common denominator, a bridge between the farmer's grain and the shoemaker's leather, making trade far more fluid and possible on a larger scale. However, commodity money was not without its own set of problems. Its value could be inconsistent, and it was often impractical. Furthermore, these commodities were not easily divisible into smaller units for minor transactions, nor were they uniform. One bushel of grain might not be of the same quality as another, leading to disputes and a continued lack of standardization. The next great innovation in the story of money came from the earth itself. Metals, gold, silver, copper, they possessed qualities that made them nearly perfect for the job. They were durable, resisting the decay that plagued agricultural commodities. They were easily portable, as a small amount could hold significant value. They were divisible without losing their worth. A piece of gold could be split into smaller pieces, each retaining a proportional value. They were relatively scarce and universally desired for their luster and utility in ornamentation. This combination of attributes led to the widespread adoption of precious metals as a more reliable and standardized form of money. This evolution led directly to the creation of coinage. Around the 7th century BCE, the Kingdom of Lydia began producing the first known coins. These were small, stamped pieces of electrum, a natural alloy of gold and silver. The stamp served as a guarantee of the coin's weight and purity. This was a revolutionary concept. Instead of weighing chunks of metal for every single transaction, people could simply count the coins. This standardization dramatically increased the speed and efficiency of trade. The adoption of coinage supercharged economic development across the ancient world. Roman denarius, Greek drachma, standardized coins allowed for the seamless collection of taxes, the payment of soldiers, and the expansion of empires. Merchants could now travel to distant lands, confident that their currency would be recognized and accepted or easily exchanged. The concept of a fixed price became commonplace. The physical constraints of metal coins eventually paved the way for the next major leap in monetary technology: paper money. The concept first emerged in China during the Tang Dynasty as merchants sought a more convenient way to conduct large-scale transactions. They would deposit their heavy strings of coins with a trusted agent, who in turn would issue a paper note of credit. This piece of paper was essentially a promise, a claim check that could be redeemed for the actual coins at a later time. This innovation made commerce lighter, faster, and safer. When Marco Polo traveled to China in the 13th century, he was astonished by this system, where entire economies ran on pieces of paper backed by the authority of the emperor. For a long time, paper currency operated on this principle of redeemability. A dollar bill or a pound note was not valuable in itself. It was valuable because it represented a promise from the issuing bank or government that it could be exchanged for a specific amount of a precious metal, usually gold, silver. This was known as the gold standard. It provided a sense of security and stability, as the amount of money in circulation was theoretically limited by the amount of gold held in a nation's vaults. However, the 20th century brought immense economic pressures, including 2 world wars and the Great Depression, which strained the gold standard to its breaking point. Governments needed more flexibility to fund their efforts and manage their economies. Gradually, countries began to sever the link between their currency and gold. The final move came in 1971, when the United States officially suspended the dollar's convertibility into gold, effectively ending the Bretton Woods system and ushering in the modern era of fiat currency. The word fiat comes from Latin, meaning "let it be done." Section 4. The digital transaction. Money in the information age. The late 20th century witnessed a transformation of money that was just as profound as the shift from metal to paper. The advent of computers and networked systems moved money from a physical object to a digital signal. The first wave of this change came with credit and debit cards. Suddenly, a small piece of plastic could be used to access funds or a line of credit, eliminating the need to carry large amounts of cash for everyday purchases. Transactions became a matter of swiping a magnetic stripe and signing a slip, a process that has since evolved into the simple tap of a card or a phone. Money was becoming a flow of information, a series of debits and credits in a vast, interconnected digital ledger. This digitization accelerated with the rise of the internet. Online banking moved the entire experience of managing finances from a physical bank branch to a personal computer or smartphone. With a few clicks, individuals could check their balances, pay their bills, and transfer funds to anyone, anywhere in the world, almost instantaneously. This unprecedented speed and convenience have fundamentally changed our relationship with money. It is no longer something we primarily hold, but something we access. For many, especially in younger generations, the primary form of money they interact with is not cash, but a number displayed on an app, a seamless part of their digital existence. This digital landscape set the stage for the most recent and perhaps most disruptive innovation: cryptocurrencies. In 2009, an anonymous creator known as Satoshi Nakamoto introduced Bitcoin, the first decentralized digital currency. Unlike traditional digital money, which is managed by banks and governments, cryptocurrencies run on a technology called blockchain. A blockchain is a distributed public ledger, maintained by a network of computers around the world. This architecture means that no single entity has control. Transactions are verified and recorded by the network itself, creating a system that operates outside the conventional financial infrastructure, built on cryptographic proof instead of institutional trust. The emergence of Bitcoin and thousands of other cryptocurrencies has sparked a global debate about the very nature and future of money.